Hello, and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell, today I don't look so crusty. My eye is feeling a lot better, and I was able to put a little bit of makeup on. But for today's video, I'm gonna go over all the books I read in January. I did have 10 books on my TBR, and I'm gonna put them on the screen. I read 7 out of the 10 books. One of them was a DNF. So let's get started. The first book I read was The Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This was, how do I explain this? Basically, this is about Jude and her sisters, where her older sister's dad, basically, he went and got them from mom, because mom ran away from like the Fae world, and so he went and got them, and they all went with him because her parents were murdered, and it's not a spoiler, it's in the back of the book. And so Jude was she's like trying to fit in this new world, right? So basically 10 years later, after the parents were murdered, she has to live in like the Fae world, and the Faes hate humans, but she's trying to fit in. Then there's like this younger prince who is the son of the High King, who hates her, and it's like he's like wicked basically. She's also trying to win a place at the court, but then basically she like she becomes like the spy of the youngest prince's brother, but then he gets betrayed, and then like I'm not sure if it's the older brother who tries to take the throne, and like so then this whole like family thing is happening, and she finds a secret about her youngest brother, and so then she betrays basically the younger prince so she can kind of like rule or have a place in the court. I'm trying to explain this book without giving spoilers, but honestly this book was okay. I think like half of the book, like the last half of it, was really good, but the first part of it, because they're introducing you to this new world and like introducing to all these characters, to me was kind of slow. So I did give this book a 3.5 because of that reason, but honestly this book was really great. The second book that I read this month was The Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. I gave this book 4 stars. It was very slow for me at first, but after a little bit, like maybe 150 to 100 pages in, it's already getting better. This is about Amelia and her sister Victoria, who are witches, and they live along humans. So Victoria gets killed, and so Amelia is trying to figure out who kills her. So she's grieving through the process, and then she gets into like dark magic and summons a demon. I don't know. Yeah, I think, yeah, it is a demon, but he's a prince of hell. He is one of the wicked. So then she she like makes him help her, basically trying to figure out who killed the sister, and then she meets like several of the other brothers, and like she just has to go through all this stuff to figure out who the sister was. And there was like a big twist for me at the end. Well, I kind of like towards the end of the book, I was like kind of figured it out, like who was the killer, and I was like, oh, it's probably this person, and I was right. But there was like a twist about it, like WTF kind of at the end. So I really did enjoy this, and I'm excited to continue the series. And then there's like another series that it's not, I think she writes it too, but I don't know if it's like an interconnected series or how does that work. But I do want to get into that one too. I just want to finish this one first, and then I'll get into that one. But I did love this, and my best friend actually gifted me this series for my birthday of 2024. No, 2023. Yeah, so finally actually started it, and I'm excited. The next book I read is The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. Basically, guy has a mistress. She ends up dead, and his wife's a lawyer, so she's trying to help him. She basically becomes his lawyer. He gets accused of murdering his mistress, and it's basically the process of her trying to figure out who kills the mistress, because obviously it wasn't the husband. and it had me. I read this in a whole day. It's out in the sitting. It literally had me like in the edge of my seat trying to figure out who did it, which I kind of figured out not too long, like almost at the end of the book. It was like I kept guessing who it was, but yeah, I kind of figured it out, and it's like a big, like a yeah, like a twist, like a WTF moment again. So I really did enjoy this book, and I actually gave this book a 4.5. The next book I read was The Renegades with Marissa Meyer. This was our first book of the book club on Fable. I will leave the link below so you guys can go join my little book club. And this was her first book. I really did enjoy this. Basically, this has to do with Nova. Like, her parents got murdered when she was young. She starts to hate like the renegades because when it was happening, she kept praying that they would come and find them, which it never happened. So she just has like this mentality of that she wants revenge because she hates them because they're the reason her parents are dead. And her uncle gets her basically, and she has powers. So the renegades are supposed to be these superheroes where there was like a revolution kind of thing where superheroes and villains where I don't know if I'm not sure if the villains were like the ones running the show at first and then the renegades appeared. Well, they started like fighting each other, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, yeah, they emerged from a ruins of a crumbled society and established peace and order where chaos reigned. As champions of justice, they remain as a symbol of hope and courage to everyone except the villains they once overthrew. So yeah, they overthrew the villains and they became like this society, and they of superheroes basically, and there's people that can try out to become a renegade. And so she goes to the trials and she tries to get in the renegades, in which she does become a renegade. And then she's like a double agent at the moment. So but then at the moment she's still like I don't know, like if she's trying to do both because she's still like being with the villains, but she also likes to be a renegade basically. And it's really entertaining. The first like, obviously because it's the first book, they try to introduce you to the world, to the new characters, so it kind of gets slow at first, but it does get really good. And I did rate this a 4.5. The next book I read was Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and unfortunately I did not enjoy this book. I rated this book a 1 star. It's not that it's a bad book, it's just that it wasn't the book for me. They're basically, I think I read that they were in Mars, and basically they are enslaved, and his wife is taken, and they are like, they do want to get justice. So it's like this little rebellion that they're building, or they build something like that, but they want to make him one of the like the golds, the people who run the place, so they can get like justice for everybody. But I don't know, it wasn't the book for me. I told my husband that maybe this is something that he'll like because of the whole they're not on Earth and they're in Mars type of thing. So I don't know, it was just not for me. I would not be continuing the series. I did not enjoy this book. You'll probably like it, I just didn't. The next book I read, and I so enjoyed this book so much, was The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I really did enjoy this book. Basically, Rachel disappears, I think, 16 years before this, and her daughter is making a documentary about her disappearance when she reappears. That's why the reappearance of Rachel Price. And obviously the daughter and the dad, they have to like get used to the fact that she's back and like live with her again. But obviously the daughter was like 2 years old when she disappeared, so she doesn't really know her mom, so she gets to know her again. But it's like twist after twist after twist in this book. There's a lot of mysteries in here, some crazy stuff. The ending to me was like, I mean, I kind of figured it out not too long into the book what happened in a way, and then once you find out what really happened with her disappearance, you're like, what? So it was a really fun book. The ending was, I feel like the ending was it was too long. Like she just made it too long. That's why it got a 4.75. but I feel like if the ending would have been like long, it would have just got to the point. I feel like this book would have been a 5 stars. I really did like this book so much. One of the other books that I tried reading, this is the book that I softly DNF'd because I do plan to come back to it, not right now. It is Bloodmark by Tracy Deonn. I really did like the first book, and I tried to read this one, but I don't know if it's because I had a lot of like fantasy. So I don't know if that's the reason I just kind of gave up on this book, or because this book is too long. I did stay on page 383, so I didn't want to DNF because of that, but also like I was not enjoying this anymore, like at all. So I softly DNF'd it, and I plan to come back to it hopefully soon. But just not right now. Not right now. Not right now. And this is basically the second book. I think this is what, a trilogy? I'm not sure. The third one's coming out soon. You know what? Maybe that's what it was for me, that I didn't understand this book a lot anymore because I read the first book. I read it 2 years ago, and I tried to jump into this one without reading the first one again. So it was kind of confusing to me. Like, I had no idea what I was reading anymore. And that's basically what it is. I have no idea what I'm reading, so I think that's why I just cannot read this book anymore. The last book I read is Murder with the Hint of Dark Chocolate. This is the third book in the Whisper Hollow mystery books. It actually comes out today. This was an arc sent to me by the author. February 1st. This is a Valentine's Day book, but we have mystery, we have love. So it's a cute, cozy mystery, murder mystery story, which this is in Whisper Hollows, a town, and Harper and Sebastian, I think that's his name, Sebs. I think he's traveling for work, and I think before he leaves, he gets a call that Sal, one of his friends, she's the older woman, and she passes away, so he has to go out of town for work. So she's trying to get all her stuff, and then she finds out that she was murdered. So then she's trying to figure out, like, she's trying to solve the mystery of who murdered her. And also Sevs leaves like a scavenger hunt for her for Valentine's Day, and so she's trying to like figure out both of the mysteries. And then at the end, it was like kind of like a twist because we found out who it is, and it was like something not expected. But it's a cute little cozy mystery, and all her books are. The first one's called A Murder with a Hint of Pumpkin Spice. The second one's A Murder with a Hint of Peppermint, and the third one's A Murder with a Hint of Dark Chocolate. Which the first one was like a fall book, the second one's a Christmas wintry book, and then the third one's a Valentine's Day book. And I absolutely enjoyed all of them, and this actually was my first book of the year with a 5-star rating, which I loved. And we have come to the end of the video, and thank you so much for watching again. I'm super excited for next month. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.